I was born in 2025, but I wish I'd grown up in the 1980s, like all my heroes. I live here in Columbus, Ohio. In 2045, it's still ranked the fastest growing city on Earth, but it sure doesn't seem like it when you live in the stacks. They called our generation the missing millions. Missing not because we went anywhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere except the oasis. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything. A world where the limits of reality are your own imagination.
Yes, come with us into a world of pure imagination for, I guess, what might be considered Steven Spielberg's Willy Wonka. I guess that's why they're playing the pure imagination song of the teaser there, but I can see where they're coming from. I mean, it is a similar plot to Willy Wonka, sort of, except you don't have, instead of Oompa Loompas, you've got a whole bunch of your favorite characters, not just from movies and television, but video games and so on and so forth. But welcome to Time About the Movies, everybody. We are taking a look at the last 4 films for March of 2018, and the biggest new release is easily Ready Player One. In the year 2045, the real world is a harsh place. You mean it isn't now? The one-time Wade Watts, played by Ty Sheridan, and by the way, happy one-year birthday to you, because he was born 2025, it's now 2026, as of the time of recording this. But Wade Watts, played by Ty Sheridan, truly feels alive when he escapes to the Oasis, an immersive virtual universe where most of humanity spends their days. In the Oasis, you can go anywhere, do anything, be anyone. The only limitations are your own imagination. The Oasis was created by the brilliant and eccentric James Halliday, played by Mark Rylance, who left his immense fortune and total control of the Oasis to the winner of the 3-part contest he designed to find a worthy heir. So there's the Willy Wonka comparison to you there. When Wade conquers the first challenge of the reality-bending treasure hunt, he and his friends, aka the High Five, are hurled into a fantastical universe of discovery and danger to save the Oasis. It's, of course, based off of Ernie Klein's best-selling novel of the same name, and it was definitely one of the most anticipated movies, probably of all time, considering all the people that are in this, not just the names in it, but also the brand recognition all across the board, and it had a great marketing campaign building it up towards the movie in general. And I'm one of those people that really does think of it as something that definitely was not only worth the wait, but definitely did feel like a new generation Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, this is right up there with some of Steven Spielberg's most recent directed movies, like Munich and The Adventures of Tintin. Recent ones at the time, though. Not like stuff that was coming out nowadays, because he's made a lot of good stuff since then, too. You know, I'm kind of surprised I didn't put Bridge of Spies in there, because I really like Bridge of Spies, and I really like the BFG. I think BFG is extremely underrated. But, yeah, this was a blast to watch overall. It's a technical and visual achievement that comes every once in a while, like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or the original Willy Wonka, Back to the Future, E.T. It's also a ton of fun to watch at the same time. You can just feel like the movie is rewarding you with something incredible, and something we haven't seen done in a long, long time. The movie thrives on being a nostalgic pop culture plethora. I mean, you're going to do scans like a security scanner throughout this movie to try to get every single reference that's thrown right at you. Like at the end of the movie, they unveil a list of all the companies that allowed their brands to be in this movie. And you'll be looking at these names and be wondering, what did they contribute? I mean, Disney contributed to some for the Star Wars properties in here, but Spielberg later clarified that while Disney allowed Star Wars elements to appear in the film, he chose to downplay the connection between the franchise, because the franchise was in the midst of its sequels and spin-off series. But then again, this is a movie that you're going to need to watch multiple times to get all the references, and you can bet that that will be something that I will do one day. I've tried to do it, but yeah, every time I do it, it's basically just kind of like, I mean, it's basically just, you know, watching this movie multiple times, trying to figure out, wait, that's a reference to something? That's a reference to something? Because, yeah, you're going to need to watch this several times to figure that out. But the script overall is really good. I mean, it doesn't actually take a lot of the elements from the book, which is perfectly fine. I mean, Forrest Gump didn't take from the original book, and that turned out to be a great movie in the end. Zach Penn and Ernest Cline do a good job of creating a fun adventure film that's not just a straightforward copy of the book. I thought the cast overall was pretty good. Like, Wade was pretty good, played by Sheridan. I liked Olivia Cooke as Samantha. They have a nice chemistry going on for each other here. Ben Mendelsohn's channeling his inner Thomas Hayden Church in this. I mean, seriously, watch this performance and tell me he does not feel like Thomas Hayden Church, and even a little bit of Hugh Laurie in there. But one of the biggest surprises in the movie was how funny I kind of found T.J. Miller to be as IROC. I mean, he did have some of the funnier moments in the film, and he did have a pretty cool visual design to his character. The standout of the film, once again, is Mark Rylance. I've talked about this guy for so many times now, and this guy does not get the respect he deserves as an actor. There's a reason why he won the Oscar for Bridge of Spies. There's a reason why I like him in the BFG. This guy is a terrific actor, and he's giving this great, amazing performance for this character, and he is where a lot of the big emotional moments come from in the film, especially in the climax. And I like Simon Pegg playing Ogden Monroe. He's also very good in the film. It does a solid accent, and American accent, and again, feels like a role that you don't really see Simon Pegg doing a whole lot overall. Now, there are a couple of nitpicky things. The biggest one, I think, really is the fact that Wade's caretakers, his aunt and his boyfriend, they're not only completely pointless, they're pretty bad. They treat him pretty roughly overall. I mean, they never feel like they're that important to the story, or even really cared about Wade all that much to begin with. And when they get killed off, I felt no sympathy for them whatsoever. Like, I was really surprised when Wade had the main villain right in his face, basically telling him, "You killed my aunt." I'm just thinking to myself, dude, be grateful, because yeah, your aunt and his boyfriend were treating you like shit. Like, be grateful for that, man. They got you. He did you a favor. He got you away from that hellhole there. And the problem is the movie doesn't really give you a connection with him to really believe in that, with his aunt and him. Like, it doesn't feel like the connection is there overall. It's just like, show some sympathy for him. He's part of your bloodline, for God's sakes. Like I said, when they get killed off, I felt no sympathy for him, and they were just there to kind of be this cheap emotional ploy for the hero. And also, as much as the human characters were good, a lot of the best aspects of the film take place in the Oasis. I mean, that's where the fun really is. I would have liked them to make the real world just as investing or interesting as the world of the Oasis is. I mean, you know, I get it. The idea is that, you know, the whole world has gone to shit and there's nowhere left to go except to just accept virtual reality in this world. But, which is funny because now it's replaced that with artificial intelligence, and that's kind of how the world's been going the last couple of years. But also, as much as I like Wade and Samantha, I kind of wish they were more interesting characters than they're just the typical regular film couple. I mean, I like their chemistry overall, but at the same time, it really does feel like there was so much left on the table with what they could do with those performances overall. And lastly, I think Alan Silvestri's score was a little underwhelming. And I love Alan Silvestri. He's a music legend behind some of the greatest scores of all time. Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Avengers. The fact that he replaced John Williams for this, I mean, I thought maybe he was going to do something incredible here, but his score was very underwhelming overall. It's not terrible, but that oomph or big push Silvestri's other more memorable scores had wasn't really there. But again, this is still me getting used to it. Maybe after a few more times, I thought maybe I'd get used to it. I still feel like it's not up to par with what this guy usually does in particular. The film does a good job of creating these unique worlds in particular. There's a great part of the movie where, you know, they have to figure out, it's the second part, I think it's the second or third part of the treasure hunt, where they have to go into the world of The Shining, and this is one of the most creative and unique ways of bringing this movie to life. You know, PG-13 movie nonetheless, and still having those elements that do feel like they're taking straight from the Kubrick movie. Because remember, Steven Spielberg did a Stanley Kubrick movie with artificial intelligence. This movie felt more of what Spielberg can do with Kubrick than artificial intelligence does, with the creative ways they bring the movie together and how they were able to solve the puzzle and all that. That's great stuff in this movie. This is one of those great films that comes around every once in a while, like I said, like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like The Wizard of Oz, or Back to the Future, E.T. It's both a technical and visual achievement and just a great fun adventure film. You could tell that Steven Spielberg wanted to turn this into something epic and spectacular, and he delivered that and so much more. It's such a terrific fun adventure. One of the year's best films. I love it, man. Ready Player One. I know people give it a bad rap because they just feel like, oh, it's nothing more than a pop culture reference film. It's just like, well, you know what? We've had a lot of reference-based comedies as of late that are trying to make the comeback, like Scary Movie. So you know what? I would rather take this than have to sit through Scary Movie again. So I know that's not going to change anyone's minds and all that, but hey, Mr. Spielberg, you did a great job on this movie, man. I mean, I love this movie, man. I love it so much. One of the best movies of the year, Ready Player One. So let's go ahead and see if Taraji P. Henson can have a better start to the year than Proud Mary was. Here she is in the latest Tyler Perry film, and that is Acrimony.
Good woman, and you lie, and you cheat. Robert's fiance.
I want to offer you prayer.
I would save my prayers for the wedding day. You promised me forever, so why did you give it to her? My ring, my life. You know I can be the devil.
Acrimony, rated R, in theaters March 30th.
I mean, it's slightly better than Proud Mary was, but that's not really saying a whole lot. Tyler Perry doing something that doesn't involve Medea, there's a plus there. I mean, I guess I could say the movie isn't terrible, but it's still not great. Taraji P. Henson stars as a psychotic wife who stalks and nearly kills her ex-husband when he becomes successful and she spent her whole life supporting him. So yeah, it's the type of movie you would see on Lifetime, but because it's got people like Taraji P. Henson and Tyler Perry at the helm of it, of course it's going to go to a big screen. And sure enough, it's a big box office success overall. And I will give it this. It is something different from Tyler Perry. It's not him just doing the same thing he did with the Medea movies. And it's not a movie that feels like it's forcing the lamest bit of drama on you like Temptation did. Because Temptation was a terrible movie that tried to add all this drama to it. And here, it's very simple. It's straight to the point. You have a woman who feels like she's been underappreciated by her husband because of the fact that he's become more successful after spending her whole life trying to give him the support that he needs to survive. And yeah, in a way, you can see how this gets to her, and you do kind of agree with what she's trying to do here, except for the part of trying to kill her. But with all that said, it just really feels like the movie has been there, done that. It's something we've seen done before. And I think what elevates it is the fact that it is Taraji P. Henson. I've always liked her as an actress, and she is the one thing that's carrying this movie to another level. She's the one thing that holds it together enough for me to say that it's not bad. It's just nothing spectacular, nothing amazing. It's there. It's just there to be a good time for Tyler Perry's audience, and I guess for the most part, it's there for that. But like I said, we've seen this movie done before over and over again. So there you go. Not much more to say about that one. That's Acrimony for you. So let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, and that is God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness.
The whole world knows what the church is against, but it's getting harder and harder to know what it's for.
Seems like you're the one much is being asked of this time.
But God's not dead. It's okay to be broken, Dave. It means God's still shaping you.
We cannot respond to hate with more hate.
What you're doing, it's against the law.
We are called to be a light in the darkness.
I love how this movie has all these protesters talking about protect the First Amendment, even though this movie is being made by the same people that are literally doing the same, is that literally will get pissed off whenever people are doing a peaceful protest for something that people should be talking about, like, black people getting killed in general by ICE and all that. But the target audience for this movie would look at this and go like, shame, shame. And except this movie is trying to make it be like, protect the First Amendment, and just like, just screw you guys. This is God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness, and this is definitely not a light in darkness for the God's Not Dead. This is definitely a darkness in the God's Not Dead franchise, to the point that even the people who love the original God's Not Dead series stepped away from this one here. They were just like, we can't show up for this one, buddy. It follows the Others Christians persecution complex theme and is loosely based on the story of 5 pastors in Texas who were issued subpoenas for sermons due to potential violation of the Johnson Amendment. Unlike in the film, in reality, the subpoenas were soon dropped. Since 2008, only one of more than 2,000 mainly evangelical Christian clergy deliberately violating the laws have been audited and none punished. Yeah. That's just how it goes in this world, unfortunately. And this movie's trying to make it seem like it's the most important thing ever and all that. Just like, no, it really isn't. I mean, like I said, it's even gotten to the point where it's quite literally where the target audience is stepping away from movies like this. It's just kind of like, nobody cares about this anymore. And yet they still made another one after this. Like, I mean, honestly, what did you expect from this? Did you see the other 2 God's Not Dead movies? And even by this point, like I said, the target audience for the first 2 movies were stepping away from this because there were much better films out there that they could go see, like I Can Only Imagine. I mean, this one just didn't feel like there was really nothing new to say here that wasn't said in the other movies. I guess the one thing I'll say about the movie is that some of the performances are not bad in here. Like John Corbett was pretty good in here. Ted McGinley, Tatum O'Neal. They're all right in here, but nothing that's really going to make me say, oh yeah, you should definitely check this one out. No. It's just meh. I really don't have much more to say about it, except it's just meh. I think that might be the second time this year I've had a review that's like that, where I just say, meh. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to, let's go to our last movie here, and that is the long-awaited return for Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero. This is Best Friends, Volume 1.
Trust me, friendship before money.
Can you say that?
Yeah.
What?
Well, trust me, friendship before money.
Right.
Yeah. I have a good story for you. A familiar story. One guy meets another in the big city. They have dream, but something changed. Greed, hatred, and jealousy. You understand the words?
Yeah, believe it or not, they actually made a decent film here. I'm not going to say it's a classic, but it's certainly much more of a straightforward film that feels more serious than The Room does. I mean, The Room just felt like a film that was so bad it's good type of movie, and coincidentally, I think the buzz was building up with the fact that they did the Disaster Artist movie not too long ago, so they figure, might as well make the movie now, so... The plot follows a homeless drifter in Los Angeles who begins working at a morgue only to realize his boss is hiding a mysterious past. And this was split up into two different volumes. There was one that came out this weekend, and the second part came out in June of this year. So we'll get to that one on June 1st. But yeah, like I said, this wasn't actually half bad. It was actually kind of good. Like, it actually did feel like a film that actually was trying and actually did have elements where you saw some good performances coming out of Sestero, and not just Sestero, but also Tommy Wiseau. And yeah, it was actually kind of fun. I mean, it was a movie where it doesn't have that same so bad it's good guilty pleasure vibe that The Room does, but it doesn't really need to have that overall. It's just more of a straightforward kind of story in general. It's nothing really that spectacular in terms of anything groundbreaking and all that, but it does show that if you put a movie out there with Wiseau and Sestero and you give them something to work off of, it does kind of work overall. It's not going to, like I said, not a classic by any means necessary, but it's definitely a lot better than I could have possibly imagined with it. It's actually a film that is trying, and for the most part does succeed at it. Like I said, nothing groundbreaking, nothing amazing, but what it does give you in the end is a kind of good movie that feels like there could be so much more on the table here. Maybe that's in the second movie. We'll get to that one, like I said, in the summer. But as far as the first film goes, it's all right. So there you go. That's Best Friends, or some might call it Best Fiends if you want to take the R out of there. Because that's how it's literally. It's Best Friends, except the R is in like what do you call them? What's that? What's the thing? What's the thing they put the extra letters in? I thought it was called something else, but it's just parentheses. The R is in parentheses instead of, Best Friends. It could be replaced with Best Fiends. So that's what, yeah, I probably should have figured that out. But I thought there was like a special name to it, but it's not there. So anyway, Best Friends, Best Fiends, whatever you want to call it. It's the follow-up to The Room. And the hits just keep on coming, at least for the first movie of the weekend. We have, next time on Time About the Movies, we have John Krasinski with his big motion picture, A Quiet Place, which went on to become one of the big surprise hits of the year. We have John Cena, Leslie Mann, and Ike Barinholtz starring in the R-rated comedy Blockers. We also have Chappaquiddick, that I don't remember too much about. We have The Miracle Season. We have Pandas, which was, I guess, Warner Brothers' answer to Disney Nature. And we also have You Were Never Really Here. Ooh, a creepy title. I don't remember a single thing about that movie, so that'll be fun to talk about next time around. So 6 movies overall to look at. A Quiet Place, Blockers, Chappaquiddick, The Miracle Season, Pandas, and You Were Never Really Here. So we'll take a look at those 6 films coming up tomorrow on the show. I hope you will join me for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for joining us here. If you did enjoy this, if you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist on the bottom there, and don't forget to check out the previous episode we did on the top. So with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.